Hi, Aparajita. It's so lovely to spend time with you. How are you doing?
I'm good, Dr. T, and it's wonderful to spend some time with you and work together with you on this conference.
You know, the International Maternal Newborn Health Conference is coming to Cape Town in 2023. And your work is so inspiring. And even on a personal basis, you are one of those people that truly just stand out whenever I think of clinical care and saving the lives of pregnant women and babies. How has the last few years been for you in terms of reflection? And what makes you so excited to have this moment to come together as a global community in 2023?
Well, as someone who's been working on maternal, newborn, child health, social norms that impact women's reproductive health and rights for more than 2 decades, I think it always feels good to see that the needle is moving. In certain places, it's moving fast. In certain places, it's moving a little slow. But I think opportunities like when the community comes together for the conference, I think first thing that is really important is that A, people are coming together. B, that we are celebrating progress. I think, yes, we still have many more miles to go before we sleep, but I think if we do not pause and acknowledge and celebrate progress, it'll be even more difficult to get to the last mile. And the third thing I think, which is really, really important, is that we are paying a lot of attention to understand what is working and how do we replicate what works? How do we scale up what works in different settings? I think we have spent enough time talking about the problems. I think this particular conference is a wonderful opportunity for everyone to look at solutions and think that if this solution has worked in Rwanda or worked in South Africa, how do we make it work in India or in Bangladesh? Because solutions do have common threads running through. So I think these are the three reasons why I'm really, really excited to be part of this.
That's amazing. And your role in the conference, we know that with any global convening, there's always the force, behind the scenes. What is your role in the conference, and how, has that contributed, and I suppose your own experience that you've brought to that role?
So I work for a national NGO. So I think I'm kind of, first of all, happy that I have an opportunity to engage with the conference's steering groups, the steering committee. And I hope that I'm doing justice by bringing in some of the realities on the ground to the table. So as part of the steering group, I have been trying to help put the conference together. I'm also co-chairing the Communication and Technical Advocacy Committee.
Doing amazing work.
Well, I mean, we're still a little way to go, but really hoping that, what do we want out of people? We want people to work together. That's why align MNH, right? We want people, not just people in maternal and newborn health to align, but we also want ourselves to align with whatever else is happening in the world. There are so many good things that are happening. There's so much of conversation about social norms. There's so much of conversation about reproductive rights. There's so much of conversation about women's economic empowerment. And we need to align with everybody, because finally we are trying to change the life of the girl, the woman, the child, the family. And I think the more we bring people together, our success rates will go up.
That's great, because one of the important things is that often with global conferences that are so scientific and so really focused, almost a niche, right? We often tend to just keep talking to each other. And I like what you're saying about bringing a community and a wider audience. And what are some of the, learnings, experiences that you've had in your own country of doing this work, of bringing human rights together, economic rights? Because ultimately what happens in the health sector, we know, is impacted by all the other things that happen outside of the health sector.
Absolutely. I mean, in the sense, where, for example, even if you take just the case of maternal mortality reduction, and if you look at countries which have done very, very well, including my country, you will see that, yes, we have very specific maternal health programs, which has helped reduce MMR, but there is also overall development indicators which are contributing. We know that if a girl finishes 12 years of education, the chances of her using contraceptives goes up by 6 times, right? So along with health, we need to invest in educating a girl. If you look at areas where newborn mortality is high, you will also see that child marriages are high. So if you want to impact newborn mortality, you also need to work at prevention of child marriages. So I think it's really good that the world is seeing these connections and coming together. And my job personally is really to kind of, walk into one particular community and talk about the intersectionality. And I think if I don't do that, then I'm doing injustice to the opportunities that I get, and I'm not being fair to the girls and women that I claim to represent.
Yeah, and I can tell you truly that your work is inspiring on so many levels, and keeping that voice always of bringing different intersections, but also amplifying the voices of people who are often not heard. If you think about, the IMNNC conference in Cape Town, what is sort of the one call to action? You spoke about aligning, about working together, and being in the subcommittee for, communications. What is this call to action that you can bring everyone and share with everyone as we look up to the conference in 2023?
Pardon me for playing on the words, but I think the call to action is action, right? Like I said, I think there is enough evidence of what is working. And I'm hoping that everybody who's coming together, including country delegations, experts, implementers, health providers, social activists, I think we need to go back and act. We have to initiate action together for mothers and for babies and for the families in the communities.
Love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You've been very kind. Thank you.